when 68-year-old Martha Jenkins noticed a tiny error in a financial report. She uncovered a $50 million fraud that threatened to destroy her company and her co-workers' retirement dreams. Martha Jenkins adjusted her bifocals as she filed the quarterly financial reports at Harkson Industries. At 68, she knew every creak of her office chair and every rhythm of the copier. But today, something felt off. Page 23 of the CFO's report showed a $2 million discrepancy in the pension fund. "That can be right," she muttered, her wrinkled hands tracing the numbers. Martha had processed these reports for 25 years. She knew the patterns. She stayed late, brewing her chamomile tea, and cross-checked the data. The numbers didn't match the subsidiary files. Her heart raced as she found identical discrepancies in the last 4 quarters. A cold realization hit. Someone was siphoning money. Martha tucked the evidence into her floral handbag, glancing at the photo of her late husband on her desk. "Oh, Henry," she whispered, "I think I've stumbled into something big." Down the hall, the CFO's office light was still on. Martha spent sleepless nights verifying the numbers at her kitchen table. Her tabby cat Mr. Whiskers purring beside her. The pattern was clear. $500,000 vanished monthly into offshore accounts. She recognized the code names. Project Evergreen matched luxury properties in the CEO's vacation portfolio. Her hands shook as she printed the evidence, remembering how CEO Brad Thornton had praised her sharp eye at last year's Christmas party. The next morning, Martha found her desk drawer forced open. Her backup flash drive was gone. When she confronted it manager Dave, he nervously claimed routine maintenance. That afternoon, an anonymous email threatened retire quietly. Martha, she stared at her retirement countdown calendar, 92 days left, then called her daughter, a paralegal. "Emily, I need your help. Bring your scanner." As twilight fell, Martha made 3 copies of her files, hiding one in her church hymnal. Martha steeled herself outside the CEO's mahogany doors, her best pearl necklace clutched like rosary beads. Inside, Brad Thornton smirked over golf magazines. "Martha, here to discuss your retirement party." She laid out the documents, her voice surprisingly steady. "I know about Project Evergreen, sir." Brad's face hardened. He offered early retirement with full benefits. When she refused, he snapped, "You'll ruin 300 pensions." Martha stood knees protesting. "No, sir, you did." That night, her apartment buzzer rang incessantly. Through the peephole, she saw 2 men in suits. Clutching her late husband's baseball bat, she called 911. The next morning, Martha marched into the SEC office, her Sunday hat perched defiantly. "I'd like to report a crime," she announced, setting down her binder of evidence. The young agent's eyes widened as Martha explained, "This isn't just fraud, it is theft from hardworking grandparents." News van swarmed Harkson Industries as Martha's disclosure made headlines. The board offered hush money, double her pension. Her daughter Emily pleaded, "Mom, take it, they'll destroy you." But Martha remembered her co-worker Betty, battling cancer, whose treatment depended on company insurance. At Sunday service, Pastor Mike preached about David and Goliath. Martha wept in the pew. That afternoon, she addressed 200 anxious colleagues in the parking lot, her voice amplified by a megaphone. "They think we're too old to fight." The crowd erupted. Retired accountant Joe volunteered forensic help. Security guard Lou provided damning CCTV footage. When the FBI raided headquarters, Martha stood flanked by her co-workers, their loyalty badges glinting in the flashbulbs. CEO Thornton was led away in handcuffs. Snarling, "You'll regret this, Martha." She simply adjusted her glasses. "No, Brad. Justice has no retirement age." 6 months later, Martha stood before Congress, her blue dress perfectly pressed. At 68, "I never imagined testifying here," she began, drawing chuckles from the room. The recovered $47 million restored the pension fund, securing retirements for her friends. Harkson's new female CEO appointed Martha as ethics advisor with a plush office overlooking the rose garden she'd admired for decades. On her first day, she displayed Henry's photo beside her Whistleblower of the Year award. At Betty's retirement party, the crowd sang for "She's a jolly good fellow" as Martha cut the cake. That night, Emily hugged her tightly. "You're my hero, Mom." Martha smiled, stroking Mr. Whiskers. "Oh honey, I am just an old secretary who remembered her multiplication tables." The local paper's headline read, "Grandma Gatekeeper Saves the Day," a title Martha secretly adored. As autumn leaves fell, she hosted Sunday dinners for her office family, savoring the warmth of hard-won peace.